too necessary, too necessary.
Age? It's a bit personal.
Oh, shut up.
My name's Taya and I'm a Christian. I'm 19.
I'm Hannah. I'm 17. And my religious background is I've been brought up in a Christian family.
I'm Ricky Johnson, I'm 25, and I'm
You're
a
not
hardcore
funny.
Buddhist.
My name's Nkita and I'm 21 years old.
No spiritual background?
Nope.
My name's Aaron Tavanason. I'm from a Christian background. I was brought up as a Christian.
My name is Gianluca Domenico Super and I am 22 years old.
Okay.
Freshly 22. I should take my glasses off. Whenever I look here, just know I'm looking at you, okay? Direct eye contact is important.
Yeah. Yeah. Right. 2, 2, 1. Check. Native to this way of living, but forgiveness was held in the vault.
That was a jolt in my thinking.
From feminist cult to hearing this
Culture of wisdom.
appearance of false, preparing this
Vulture for vision.
living life, it rhymes precise as it was given in the times in this life. Recite the famous written inscriptions, opinions fly, but not sticking and listening to facts only. Relax boldly, we go when no man can stand before. It's JC for me, and we're back for more. I record tracks because his track record backs the cause. That's the source we attack before.
And I'm coming in really hot with the Jesus flow. 21st century kids with a piece of old. When I piece together all that I've seen, I know that I can keep my pose, because he speaks to those who admit need for Holy Ghost.
True indeed, my God exists regardless of what you believe.
Receive from him a growing hunger, now it won't relent. Different from when I was younger, that is past tense. Every day I wake up hungry for the fellowship. Direct my heart and soul towards the mellow bliss. Never take for granted this throne of flowing grace. I'm desperate in my heart, develops a growing taste.
Lies may be foreign to you, but it's native to us, native. Yeah, set the way, truth and life, to save it to us, save it. This way your lies may be foreign to you, but it's native to us, native. The way, truth and life, sins take it from us, take it. This way your lies may be foreign to you, but it's native to us, native. Yeah, set the way, truth and life, to save it to us, save it. This way your lies may be foreign to you, but it's native to us, native. Set the way truth and life, sinners taken from us.
Sitting wonder, reminiscing identity formation. My heart racing cause the entity born could have ended to your parents would let he thrive. Instead, decide the Christ life was life. Age 9, 5+ IV days I stayed away. 10 became lifeline, paved the way for lane to make moves on feet. I deceived, foray, he forgave before I deceived and lied to speak to me. Claim the Christ to be fun limiter or some figured that I administered backwards justice. I saw the rulers of earth, figured it absurd to devote the truth to a curse. Writing off all my future prospects to dictator. If he's the creator, then why did he make us so flawed internally? So I checked the scribe. Seen a roller coaster of life that's described, mixed out with King Nature. Us sinners are losing life, right? Nah, brother, they said he was crucified. Imagine if this thing was really talking about you and I. Imagine if this thing was really talking about you and I. Imagine if this thing contained a way to be unified. Flip expectations of what's waiting and let that be dictating the way our lives are paved. I've been walking new roads since I made man. Secondary to the image they reflect. Treating humans the first divine breath, and seeing the God inspired in every step I'm taking. Becoming more human, make that my new name. And realize saving for me brings amazing love. Takes you getting your life undone by the truth. The way you get told when you're a youth, and imposing culture on what pre-existed you like that. Yeah, it's like that. It's a joke. The fitness culture, appearance of
something close to home, something, I don't know, something that you can personally identify with. That's what I would think.
Yeah. I think most of my decisions are based around that, so it's more of a foundation in my life. So I say Christianity is my native.
And so it's just sort of, you grow up with it, it's around you, so it just becomes the norm. So not really the native, just the norm, if anything. Like, what's a part of my sort of life.
I was raised off of bad experiences in life.
Okay.
And from that, I learned morals. It's the whole yin yang thing.
Right.
You can't have the good without the bad. I got nothing but bad, so now I know what's good.
It's where you're from. It's where you belong.
Where you from and where you born?
I don't know. Same thing.
Okay. So would you say Christianity is your native? And that's what you're native?
I think that's where I belong. I don't think it's where I'm from.
Really? Where would you think?
The world.
In the state of this world right now, I think it's a mess, but that's what's good about it, because then in a messy world, that's where, you know, God can really show up and He can really use us. So, yeah, you know, it's no surprise that the world's a bit of a state.
The world's pretty messed up. I mean, there's a lot of things wrong with it, but at the same time, there's a lot of things good with it. For the fact, a lot of people, for example, right now we got President Donald Trump causing all kinds of mayhem. We've got terrorism. We've got people still in poverty after all this time. But we've also got like new heights are reaching, like things that bring people together. The World Cup's just been on, and even with the World Cup, there are good and bad parts about it. Good parts about it brings millions and millions of people together all around the world. They're watching it. People are going there to watch it. At the same time, people are complaining like, why are all these people getting so much money when I'm struggling and I'm in the slums? Like people in the slums in Brazil watching the World Cup, thinking, well, I'm literally dying, and these people are getting paid £150,000 to sit on a bench, not even play. Stuff like that. I think there's a lot of imbalance. There's a lot of power in the wrong places. I think as humans, we value the wrong things a lot. A lot of people value the wrong things.
I think the main issue with the world is that people are very opinionated, and when fact or other opinion clashes with their beliefs, then that's often where like conflict and turmoil will come into.
It's already so corrupt, and so many people just, they don't feel. People don't feel, so they just do things. And now the world's a hot mess.
In nowadays, in life in general, there are too many blurred lines. There are too many misconstrued teachings, and a lot of people saying a lot of different things. And it's hard to say what's black and white anymore.
So I think that through all your trials and errors, I think people arrive at the same place, and that has to be the truth, and that can't be compromised. Now, whether the truth is, whether it's your truth or someone else's, that's down for you to decide. I think being true to yourself is, it just means to not lie to yourself, really.
Too good to be. Too good to be. Too good to be.
Yeah. Now I've been treading on this road now for about 22 steps. Broke the foes in the power hat. Many views set. Who's next to let the truth mess with brain? No fables and tales from the fairies, less scary, and it takes no words to reaffirm. But the truth, rearrange stones and seas with up what you perceive. Please believe what's good, different to what The others seek wealth far from original belief that covers deep. 92, find the truth in the world's a nightly coup. See the enemy swooping in the backdrop. The trap got the whole world seeing what they feel is primary. Realizing ain't nature, make it hard to find anyone who puts another try before theirs. They fake force care, cross them and end up in the crosshairs. But the known enemy is an absolute standard. Individualize and make the whole world turn backwards.
War threats and death threats and killing, winning. Family members, financial freedom has broken torn. No more freedom of speech fit into their boxes. Declaring free, don't you know it's bondage? And this is their promise. Peace and security in a mansion. Respect and integrity all imagined. The soul of the victory. The truth in it, proof in it, out your window. Fruits of these leaves and see how this it grows. It's all just too good to be.
You see, you know where we come from, and where our goodness lies. I can see the skies, even with the truth disguised. You misdiagnose your soul, you need treatment. JC's got the goods, best believe it.
Buried in this very world was deep in, until the Lord nudged me awake from sleeping. I'm grieved by souls, I see, I'm told it's me that's old, when they keep and hold the feeble roles. Let me unmask this, I've got a vastness. They think the past is a farmless, and now they're harmless. In truth, they're addicted to darkness, made of the fruit of the casket, the great wine. But we the grapevine, and we take time, reaping benefits from the heavens midst. See, from the past they've been telling fibs, yeah, they're very set on this. We should learn respect lest we forget our sins. See, all have fallen short of the flowing grace. Everybody, many hearts people close the gate. But me, I keep on picturing his glowing face. Won't stop until heaven's rested in this place. In this place, 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 in this place. Won't stop until heaven's rested in this place.
War threats and death threats and killing, winning. Family members, financial freedom has broken torn. No more freedom of speech fit into their boxes. Declaring free, don't you know it's bondage? And this is their promise. Peace and security in a mansion. Respect and integrity all imagined. The soul of the victory. The truth in it, proof in it, out your window. Fruits of these leaves and see how this it grows. It's all just too good to be.
Yeah, I would say I'm quite observant. Curious, maybe, just curious. I'm really trying to think about how I differentiate between my friends, because I'm friends with them because we have similarities, but there are differences.
When like primary school, like secondary school, whenever you have like a sleepover, and it was like always Saturday to Sunday, and then you get up in the morning and everyone's like, woo, like we'll carry on this like 12, and I'd be like, I've got to go to church, and they'd all look at me and be like, why would you choose to do that, like this, like just little things, or like not like not drinking as much at parties, or like swearing, all that sort of stuff, like just sets you apart, and they're just kind of like, oh, like why are you, what makes you want to do that?
And in this day and age, a lot of the time when you don't understand something, people are so scared they just want it gone. Instead of trying to deal with it and understand it, they just want it finished. So for me to walk into a room of new people, make all the noise, make all the friends and tell all the jokes, there will be that select few that are like, stop. You're messing up my life by being you.
Right.
I don't like you. And that's unfair.
The bad is kind of like, oh, maybe I'm like lying to people here.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like there's a sense of dishonesty. Yeah, not so much that I'm lying, but being dishonest, because I'm not saying something else, but I'm just not saying it at all.
Every situation that you start, relationships, friendships, school, literally everything. I shouldn't have to hide it, and I shouldn't. But the fact that you subconsciously do it shows that it's kind of, you already know you're going to get judged on it. Which is something you shouldn't be scared of if you already know that it's going to happen. But it happens, and it's not a comfortable feeling no matter how many times it happens to you. But you get over it. Eventually.
Did you ever struggle being different?
Of course, I still do. I don't think it ever stops, but it's just, you know, you find places where you have to just, you know, ask God for strength and just carry on, because you're never going to be accepted. You know, however much you think you're going to get accepted, and you're always going to go somewhere where someone's not going to like you, or someone's not going to like your ideology and all of that stuff.
Like I told you, I was brought up a lot on TV and film, and the TV and film and even games. Like, a lot of the morals are stay true to yourself, believe in yourself, and that's what I've always stuck to. You know that it's really cheesy to be told, listen, believe in yourself, always strengthen yourself, be good to others, and all that stuff. It's very cheesy, but it's a cliche for a reason.
Right.
Like, this is the thing. One of my life mottos, and I believe I made this up. I've never heard anyone else say it, but it's so obvious it should have been. Is have confidence in yourself, and others will have confidence in you. Like, that's one of my life mottos. That's something I've always stood by, and it's always worked out for me. I've gotten to the positions I've gotten to through the confidence I've had. If I hadn't have made jumps, if I hadn't have started conversations and tried things, I wouldn't be where I am.
Right.
And I don't think many people would be where they are, and I think a lot of people would be further than they ever thought they could if they got that confidence, but it's not an easy thing to attain.
I think almost nearer this age, like, more comfortable, just because you have that, like, group of friends, and, like, you can be, like, weird around them, like, you know, they're not gonna be like, oh, she's really, like, weird, oh, she's Christian, oh my gosh, it's just kind of like, that's normal. Yeah, so I'd say I'm, like, fairly comfortable now, but then year's time, uni, I'm just gonna be back to year 7, so.
You're not, the whole point of growth is you're not supposed to be comfortable, you're not supposed to be, you know, otherwise you've not really, you need to be experiencing something new. When you've had a new experience, it gives you a little bit of a shock, and how you deal with it, I think the circumstances reveal you to yourself, how you kind of dealt with it.
So in that case, is it ever good to be comfortable?
No. I've experienced physical growing pains. Like, that whole age where you're just uncomfortable and you say, Mum, why is it hurting? You're growing. And this whole comfort zone thing, you actually have to get outside the box or nothing's going to happen. You can go back to the box, but you have to get out of it for something to change.
So can you be comfortable being uncomfortable?
Yes. I'm very much uncomfortable right now, but I'm comfortable in it.
Because I feel like God created us to do something more than just, you know, being somewhere and being comfortable. He always wants us to go for the best. And yeah, I feel like pushing myself, learning while moving up. So yeah.
Do you think it's wrong to be comfortable then, or to seek comfort?
I wouldn't say that. I think for different people there's seasons. Some people need rest, and they need that time to be in that place where they can think, reload, and think about what has happened in their lives, what God has done, and, you know, accept that. But, you know, and then there's a place where you are too comfortable and you just stay where you are, and you don't really see what God has put in you, and the kind of identity you are in Christ, and you know, your full potential. And I think God wants us to really see ourselves and really throw ourselves into the deep end and really go uncomfortable, so then we can depend on Him. You know, when we're comfortable, we understand who God is, we get revelation of God, but when we push ourselves, we really see God's work in our lives as well, Him helping us. So I'd say, like, both there's a fine line, but I'll say, you know, for me, you know, I'll rather push myself and see God work in my life and allow God to, you know, really, you know, show Himself in my opportunities where I'm going and stuff like that. So yeah.
We keep on, so you know the kids. We keep on, so you know who it is. We keep on, we get on, we keep on. So you know the kids, we keep on. Girl, I know who it is, we keep on. We keep on. Look, so I've been rocking with the fun joy since I was a young boy. Not one ploy could touch the sun of the sun, boy. Floating through this ocean, knowing who was chosen. Faith never depletes, cause I know he never leaves. When I breathe deep, I sleep deep, my dream stretches out around the world, the back with peace message. Please let it be stepping into my daily, talking that talk because I know just who made me.
Lifting up his name and already seen the change. And I'm sitting in class with mates picking my brain. I know the game's trying to trick me into playing, but I'm staying cause I know that what I claim gives me purpose, direction. I'm worth the affection, worthy to brethren who turn me from weapons to shepherds, followers. Help you bless the crew.
Never had I seen so much true loving and affection too. When the world told me a distance with a different view of what you had to be and what you had to do. Laid waste all affliction and I followed you.
Now what, now what?
Now it's Salvation Crew coming straight to you. We who ride on eagle's wings.
And we heard the people sing. We peeped the king, the feeble win. When they let JC take people from their means to sin. Yeah. 2, 2, 1, 2. Never knew the crew would get together, letting you confess the truth, send a message to the world that's all around. We get children at the higher ground, standing proud of the differences between you and me. We should be the free, yeah. And that means that we're living differently. That means that we're living differently. We're proud of it, and we're loud with it, and we're sound on it. And that's our witness, and that's our promise. And you know we rock it, cause you know we got it. So we know we got it, and we're proud of it, and we're loud with it, and we're sound on it. And that's our witness. We keep on, keep growing, we keep on. Never slumming, we keep on. And you know it, we keep on. We keep this growing, we keep on. Never slumming, we keep on. And you know it, we keep on. We keep this growing, we keep on. Never slumming, we keep on. And you know it, we keep on. Yeah.
And like there's a reason as to why people are the way they are. So you can't get at me for being different when you're different as well.